We're in the last days. Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. And I want you to know that it's very, very important that you understand who it is that we serve, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's so important to understand more than what it is that's have been shown to us as a people from slavery. And all 12 tribes were involved in slavery. All 12 tribes were involved in destroying our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So as always, we'll start off with Colossians 3:17. Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the anointed Savior, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. That's how we give thanks to the Most High in the name of the anointed Savior. Why? Because of Mashiach Yahushua told us this. And that's why he's telling us whatever we do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So I hope you understand this, because I'm not starting here every time you hear me speak. I'm not starting here for you not to understand what it is that you're dealing with when you actually saying words or you have certain actions. John 14:6 says, Mashiach Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So Mashiach Yahushua said he's the way to show us how to follow the truth, which is what? The law. When you read Psalms 119, 142, just get that. Because you have to understand that when we read the New Testament, it has to coincide with what's written in the Old Testament. Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So, Mashiach Yahushua is telling us here, when he says in John 14:6, Mashiach Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth. Now, do we take the place of the law? No. And the life. He said, I am the way to show you how to follow the truth. For he is an example of how we can follow the truth, which is the law, that's going to lead us to everlasting life. Now, they translate it as such from the Greek to the English, but that's what he's telling us. He's the way to show us how to follow the truth, which is the law, that's going to lead us to everlasting life. Say, no man cometh unto the Father but by me. So that's why he asked us, well, he didn't actually, he told us, matter of fact, in verse 13, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that's by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, which we starting out with. Whatever we do in word or deed, we're doing it all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, so we can go to the Most High on our behalf. This is what he said. And whatsoever ye shall ask by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son, that the Most High may be glorified in the Mashiach Yahushua. Has nothing to do with us so far. His objective is that the Most High can be glorified in him, because we finally seeing spiritual things that we should see, that he can get the glory from the Most High. Since we're Mashiachim, we belong to him. But this world teach you to think about what is all for yourself. What about what's for him? This is for him. That the Most High could be glorified in the Son. He come back and say, if you shall ask anything in his name, in the name of the anointed Savior, I will do it. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Do what I just told you to do. If you love him, say, keep my commandments. And also follow the laws of the Most High. 613 laws. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws that we follow now. Because he was the ultimate sacrifice. The Lamb of the Most High that came and shed his blood for the children of Israel. So that's why we start off with Colossians 3:17. That a Mashiach can go to the throne of the Most High and the Most High can look upon us and show his favor to us. Or he's going to bring wrath. Either or. He's a balance just like you are and I am. Nobody on this earth, I don't know how people can think that the Most High is just all love when you ain't all love. Come on now. You think you're more powerful than the Most High? You got qualities that he don't have. He said, let's go down and make man in our image and our likeness. Come on. It's crazy. How do you think the Most High, who is everything, don't have the same qualities? Let's go to Exodus, the 4th chapter. We coming near the Passover. Just a moment. We're coming up to the Passover, and we want to look at how a little bit of our story, and we want to get a little understanding. And actually, with the understanding, we want to make sure that we follow and understand how we were, a lot of us were, majority of us were, and how we didn't make it to the promised land. And that's where we're at now. What we're doing, hopefully, I hope you are. I can't say if you are or not. I can speak for myself. But everything that we're doing should be leading us to the kingdom of everlasting life. That's what this is all about. So when you see a Mashiach Yahushua saying, I am the way, the truth, and the life, it's like you're supposed to know. But we don't know. That's why we have to go through these scriptures and search out deeply so we can get the understanding of what's being said. Otherwise, because it has to coincide with what was written in the Old Testament. So when you look at Baruch, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse, and flow with me because I gotta flow as the Spirit is having me flow. It says, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. So you're looking at, he's the way to show us how to follow the truth, how to follow the laws of the Most High. That's going to lead to everlasting life, just like you're seeing here. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law of the Most High that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. You keep the laws, you're going to come to everlasting life. But such as leave it shall die. You leave the laws, you're going to die. He's going to kill you. Say, turn thee, O Jacobs. Why do you say turn thee? Because we got to turn back to what we've been programmed not to do. And that's, you've been programmed to follow your heart. You've been programmed to be brain polluted. Your mind ain't washed. Most of our people's minds not washed. The average person doing whatever they want to do. They're looking at this book They're reading this book, and the book is, like I said, what are you doing when the book is closed? How do you apply this in your life? If the Most High is love, then why are you not presenting love? Why you don't have this love that he has? It says, turn thee, verse 2, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated, that you may be illuminated. So, we as a people, we have gone through many different ways being amongst these heathen, these other nations. So a lot of the way that we are in our thinking comes from being mingled among these heathens. From captivity to captivity to captivity. And then the 10 tribes, where they were scattered, they were like they were called Gentiles because they forgot about the laws. They're supposed to come over here to the Americas to remember the laws and follow the laws, but they came over here and started being wicked as ever. The Most High sent the white man, the Edomites, the so-called white man, the Edomites, to bring them down. Why? Because they wasn't following the laws. They said they're going to come over to a place that they can follow the laws. They didn't follow them, so he brought them down. We was wicked, along with those that were righteous. But the righteous went down with the wicked. That's why when this go down, the righteous had to deal with what the wicked caused our people, the children of Israel, to go through. All of us went through this, behind what the wicked done. So when you look at this world that's getting ready to come up, we got next, the children of Israel, through the power of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, the righteous and the wicked. If you call them righteous, if there is any righteous, you can claim to be righteous, you going down too. Everything, nothing new under the sun. They going down too. All you want to save them, try to. You can't do nothing but what is written here. Because we all, as individuals, are going to meet the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, first and foremost. I mean, we love our people, we love everybody, but when you understand this to the utmost, to understand that the Most High said he's going to take one of a city, two of a family, we got to make it through that wilderness, y'all. And hopefully by the time you get there, you've changed and you have rearranged your every fiber of your existence, because it's getting close. It's getting real close, and people playing around. It's going to catch up with you if you don't watch out. You know, he sent his watchmen to watch over Israel, and people playing around. Look at Baruch, speaking of a Mashiach Yahushua, 3:36 and 37. So he have found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved. You see? It's Romans 9:13 says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. See, Israel, his beloved, the 12 tribes of Israel, he loves us. Afterward, once he gave us this knowledge, afterward did he show himself upon earth and converse with men. Afterward did he show himself upon earth and converse with men. There go Mashiach Yahushua right there in the Apocrypha. Because the Most High didn't show himself upon earth and converse with men. The Most High is everything. Now, the Mashiach Yahushua gave us the understanding of that. In St. John 1:18, no man has seen the Most High at any time. The only begotten Son, we just read about, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. So let's go look at Israel. Let's go to Exodus 13, the 13th chapter. I wasn't starting for. Let's start at 13 and 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. It is mine. So the firstborn child, the Most High says, his. He say, sanctify them. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. That's what Egypt means, bondage, captivity, or slavery. For by strength of hand, the Most High brought you out from this place. The strength of the Most High's hand, the strength of the Most High's right hand. Who is Hamashiach Yahushua? Here. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. So no leaven. You got to get rid of all leaven. Prepare yourself. Get rid of all leaven. Ketchup, mayonnaise, bread, and all the things that have leaven. This day came ye out in the month of Beb. This is the first month. And Happy New Year to everyone. And it shall be when the Most High shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month. See? This is a commandment.
From Columbus, Georgia.
Hey, welcome, brother. Shabbat Shalom. It says, 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread. We're in Exodus 13 and 6.
Okay.
It say, 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread. And in the 7th day shall be a feast to the Most High. So 7 days we're going to eat unleavened bread. And in the 7th day we'll have another feast to the Most High. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days. So you can make unleavened bread. That's very easy. You just have some flour and some little oil, olive oil if you can have that, and water and honey if you want to sweeten it. It's just simple. Just make sure that you don't have any flour that have yeast in it, or something that's going to make the bread to rise. Just regular flour. Say unleavened bread, verse 7, unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee. So you got to get rid of all the leaven bread. Neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. So no leaven in your houses. You got to get rid of it. And thou shalt show thy son in that day, saying, this is done because of that which the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Most High's law may be in thy mouth. I'm going to read it to you again. And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Most High's law, you see that? It's the Most High's law. That the Most High's law may be in thy mouth. For with a strong hand hath the Most High brought thee out of Egypt. With a strong hand hath the Most High brought us out of Egypt. And that hand is his right hand of Mashiach Yahushua, who went back to sit on the right hand side of the Most High. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. This is why we still keep the Passover, in observance of our deliverance from the Egyptians. The Israelites coming out of captivity under the Egyptians. All 12 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. All 12 tribes were in the Egyptian captivity. Therefore, all 12 tribes learned the ways of the Egyptians. Just point blank. I mean, it is what it is. Verse 10, thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. And it shall be when the Most High shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, as he sware to thee and to thy fathers, and shall give it thee, which is the land of Israel, that thou shalt set apart unto the Most High all that openeth the matrix, and every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the males shall be the Most High's. The males, the first male, shall be the Most High. And every firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb. And if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break his neck. And all the firstborn of man among thy children shalt thou redeem. Firstborn. Son, and it shall be when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what is this? That thou shalt say unto him, by strength of hand, the Most High, you keep hearing this, by strength of hand, the Most High brought us out from Egypt, from the house of bondage. That strength of hand is the hand of the Most High, his right hand, which is Hamashiach Yahushua, the angel of the Most High, the word of the Most High. Not just when he came in the flesh, but here. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Most High slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob all that openeth the matrix, being males. But all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And it shall be for a token upon thine hand, and for frontlets between thine eyes. For by strength of hand, again. But you got to see this in the spirit. So many people miss a Mashiach Yahushua in the Old Testament. By strength of hand, the Most High brought us forth out of Egypt. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that the Most High led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For the Most High said, lest peradventure, perhaps, the people repent when they see war. See, the people say, oh, I'm scared, I'm sorry, oh, we got to go. And do what? And they return to Egypt. Want to run back to Egypt. Like a lot of y'all probably going to be say, oh, I want to go back to America. Same old, as it's written. But the Most High led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him. For he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you. Joseph told him, the Most High going to visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. Say, carry my bones. Don't leave my bones in this unforsaken land of Egypt. And they took their journey from Sukkoth and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness. And the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. This is Mashiach Yahushua. But the Most High is always there because he's everything. He's everywhere, he's everything. But this is Mashiach Yahushua that was leading us in a pillar of fire by night, in a cloud by day. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. The Most High did. That's what he did. Chapter 14 of Exodus. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Bahahiroth, between Medal and the sea, over against Baal Zephon, before it shall ye encamp by the sea. So he told us to encamp by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land. The wilderness hath shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Most High. And they did so. Why? That the Egyptians may know that I am the Most High. And they did so. All for the Most High. And see, that's what people have it all twisted and thinking that this is all for Israel. No, this is all for the Most High. Whatever's going to go down in our time, it's all for the Most High. You better understand this, people. And get off yourself and really realize that this is for the Most High. That the Egyptians may know that I am the Most High. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled. And the heart of Pharaoh, just like he said, and of his servants was turned against the people. And they said, why have we done this? That we have let Israel go from serving us. Say, why we let them go from serving us? It was some good slaves. You're going to find out how good they were. So why we let them go from serving us? That's why the ones we under now have come up with a diabolical plan to have everybody continue to serve them. They got everybody serving. The IRS. They get their money right off the top. No doubt, right? You get whatever you get whatever you get after they done got theirs. They get theirs off the top. We're nothing but commerce, everyone. From birth to death. Unless you come out of it. Look at Exodus. I got to read this again. This is very important. Exodus 14:4. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart. So this is the most I say he's going to do. That he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh. I will be honored upon Pharaoh. Like the most I'm going to be honored upon the chief of all the nations on this earth now. The Edomites. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of that following. We the children of Israel. He's going to do the same thing to make them prepared. They're already prepared to fight. So he's saying, going to harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, that the Egyptians may know that I am the most high power. And they did so. And they're going to know what Mashiach Yahushua is too. Because he's there too. Remember, he led us in that fiery chariot by night, in the cloud by day. But it's all about the Most High. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled. And the heart of Pharaoh was of his servants, was turned against the people. And they said, why have we done this? That we have let Israel go from serving us. And he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over every one of them. And the Most High hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And he pursued after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went on with an high hand. Oh yeah. They went on with a high hand. Mashiach Yahushua. But the Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea, beside Beharath, before Baal-Zephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. And they were so afraid, seeing all these chariots coming after us. So they were so afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Most High. We cried out to the Most High. See? But we are afraid of what? Death. We're afraid of dying. And we cried to the Most High. It's the only time the Most High had pity on us, people. When we cried to him. And here we're in the sight of death. And they said it unto Moses. Listen to what the people said. Because there was no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? So you had no graves in Egypt, so you brought us out here to die in the wilderness. Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? Now you wonder why the Most High didn't allow none of them to get through, to go to the land of Israel, but Joshua and Caleb. But he tell Moses, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians, that we may remain slaves. For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. No faith, no belief. What you gonna do when he come for you? Because it's gonna be, we gonna look at the same things happening, all over again. Nothing new under the sun. You could have left us in America. We had it going on in America. Now we out here in the wilderness. That's why you're gonna purge the people out. You're gonna purge the rebels out from among us. Because you should know exactly what's getting ready to go down, and it shouldn't be a problem once you're scared to death you made it to the wilderness. Because it say everybody going to wail because of Mashiach Yahushua when he come back in Revelation 1:7. So you're going to be afraid, but then you're going to still talk stuff? Yep. Still. I mean, look at all the plagues that the Most High put upon the Egyptians. And we were safe. But he's put all these plagues on the Egyptians, and we knew it. Our houses were safe. I mean, all the plagues that he put on them. And here we are. Now it's time for our exodus. We done left. Still crying. Then cried, listen. Verse 10. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. Right? And they were so afraid. They became afraid. Seeing the Egyptians coming with their armies, 600 chosen chariots coming after us. So they became afraid. Listen. They were so afraid. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High. They didn't cry to Moses. They cried unto the Most High. They praying to the Most High. They praying to the Most High. Now what? Look here. Once they see the chariots of Pharaoh and his army coming, 600 strong, they praying to the Most High. So what's the point of praying and you don't believe? You don't even believe that you're going to be delivered. You're going to tell me that they believe? They have faith? They cried, they prayed to the Most High. And as soon as they prayed, verse 11, and they said unto Moses, because there was no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt? This after they prayed, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians. For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not. This is what Moses said. By himself. One man. Not 1,000, not even 600. One man. Look what Moses said. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptian whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. That's our power. And that's power coming from one man. Letting them know. Stand still. Shut down. And watch the power of the Most High work. But what does he tell them they have to have? In telling them that, they have to have faith. This is what he said. And this is real. Verse 14. The Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Shemai, Shequat. Shut down. Stand still. Shemai, listen to what he's saying. The Most High shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. That's what we're looking at. If you desire to make it to the kingdom, you got to do what's right. Follow the Most High's laws, such commandments. Have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. Do they have faith? They have faith? No, they have no faith. That's why he's telling them, you got to have faith. That's why he says, shut down. Hold your peace. Be quiet. Don't say nothing. Just watch the power of the Most High work. And the Most High said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? This is what he's saying. Oh, man.
Q&A mode is on. Participants may now unmute themselves. Presentation mode is on. Only organizers can be heard.
Verse 15, Exodus 14:15. And the Most High said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? He said, why are you crying to me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. Tell them to go forward. Keep on going forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. He says, stretch out your rod, and the sea gonna open up, and the ground, I'm gonna make the ground be dry. Now people can say whatever they want to say. They say, oh, the water was low and it opened up. No, make that ground be dry from that water just dividing itself. Make that happen now. You ain't not going to see that. Just a miracle. Just the power of the Most High. And behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians. Once again. So you're going to harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh. I'm telling y'all, people don't read this Bible well enough to know that it's all about the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hear what he said? And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. You see this? And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. Who's that angel? Mashiach Yahushua, the anointed Savior, who the world calls Jesus Christ. The black man that came on the earth and died and shed his precious blood for the children of Israel. The Lamb of the Most High, the Word of the Most High. See this? And the angel of the Most High, because he's a spirit, he's an angel. The angel of the Most High which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. See? This pillar of the cloud went behind them, removed from their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud and darkness to them. But it gave light by night to these, to Israelites, so that the one cannot near the other all the night. Came not near the other all the night. They didn't come near each other. Say, and Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Most High caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. The waters divided, and the land became dry. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea, upon the dry ground. And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. You know, they just had a movie, Exodus. It was the storyline was all twisted, but they because they showed they had great graphics in it though, you know, but the storyline was all twisted. But they showed Moses and the water coming in on Moses, so that was off. It says, verse 23, and the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea. So they see, hey, the sea is opened up, the ground is dry. We walking across, as the Israelites walking across dry ground. So what they doing? They going to pursue after us, you know. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Most High looked up to the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire. See? And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Most High, wow, Mashiach Yahushua, let me add him there because he's there. Look, remember it's the angel of the Most High, back in 19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel. See? Verse 24. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, looked unto the host, that's the army of the Egyptians, through the pillar of the fire of the cloud. He's looking through this chariot. Now we got to deal with that cloud so you know that the cloud is a chariot of the Most High. What they call UFOs. We call them IFOs. They call them unidentified flying objects. We call them identified flying objects because we can read about them right here. I mean, I have a whole breakdown on that, but Psalms 104 and 3. Who maketh the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his minister is a flaming fire. So that fire and the cloud have some significance in how the angels travel. And this is the angel of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, who is an angel of the Most High. It's the spirit of the Most High. It's the word of the Most High. That's him. Right here. Going back to Exodus 14 and 25, and took off. Let me read verse 24. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of the fire. He looked in his watch, he looked through the pillar of fire at the army of the Egyptians and of the cloud. Because remember, it's changing from fire to cloud. And troubled the host of the Egyptians. He troubled the host of the army of the Egyptians. And look what he did. And took off their chariot wheels. Think about it. This is the power of the Most High. The angels took off the chariot wheels. They rolled and took off the chariot wheels. That they drave them heavily. So that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel. For the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, while Mashiach Yahushua, the anointed Savior, fighteth for them against the Egyptians. You see that? What did they say? What did the Egyptians say? Let us flee from the face of Israel. For the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua fighteth for them against the Egyptians. They recognize this. But the people that we under now, they're not going to recognize it. That's why he have to burn them up, every one. So ain't nothing going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. Because they bringing their chariots in these last days too. They stealth bombers and all the inventions that Satan has allowed them to invent. Believe it's going to be a galactical battle. But who's going to win? Mashiach Yahushua. There's 200 million angels. It's already written. But they're still going to fight. They're going to be scared, but they're still going to fight. See what he did? He took off their chariot wheels. This is the power of the spirits, the angels of the Most High. Took their chariot wheels off. 600. How many did they have? 600. Look at Exodus 14:7. And he took, this is what Pharaoh did, and he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over every one of them. What did he do? Verse 25, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel. Let us flee from the face of Israel. Let's stop pursuing the Israelites. For the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua fighteth for them against the Egyptians. What did Moses tell us? Is this not what Moses told us? In verse 14, he said, because remember we were afraid. Israelites were afraid. And this one man Moses told us in verse 14, the Most High shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Say, the Most High gonna fight for us. What did he do? Verse 25, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel. For the Most High, while Mashiach fighteth for them against the Egyptians. That's our power. You just got to believe in him. And the Most High, while Mashiach said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. That's wall of the sea started to come back in on the Egyptians. And the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. But you see how they recognized the Most High? You see here how the Egyptians recognized the Most High? They gave power to our power. That's how they're going to give power to the Most High in this end times. Better believe it. They're going to recognize. He's going to get the power. He's going to be all power. He's going to be all in all. Oh, yeah. Verse 28, and the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them, all 600 plus all the chariots after the 600 that they had brought. But the children of Israel walked upon dry ground in the midst of the sea. So you got to look at this. We walking on dry ground. Moses turns around, takes his rod, and puts it like that. And the Egyptians pursuing us behind us now, mind you. And Moses takes his rod and puts it out. And the sea covers them up. And what do? We kept walking on dry ground. So we still got this wall between us. But the back part of the sea right here is going to close in. But now there's a wall to stop that sea from coming to drown us too. You got to see this. The waters returned, verse 28, and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. They came into the sea on dry ground. It was dry ground. They're looking at us walking, on dry ground, so they figure they can go on dry ground too. And seeing this miracle of the sea open up like that, they came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry ground in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. You see that? That's the power of the Most High. That's our power. And that's who we got to lock into in these last days so that we could be saved. Listen, thus, here it is. Thus the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. Salvation, right there. And Israel saw the Egyptian dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared the Most High and believed the Most High and his servant Moses. Why we got to have death? It's always got to be death. He brought about death in Israel. Oh, yeah, I believe you, Moses. I believe the Most High. I believe in the Most High. I believe in him now. Why? Because we seen death. What did it say? Remember, Israel was talking about staying back with the Egyptians. They want to stay with them. Why you bring us out here to die? Because there's no graves in Egypt? We could have stayed in Egypt and served the Egyptians. That's what they were talking about. See, that's wicked. But that's our people. Now that they see what he done, again, remember he had killed the firstborn male and anything that was male of the Egyptian, point blank. Firstborn male, he took them out. They seen this. Didn't touch none of the Israelites' firstborn male children or male animal or anything that was firstborn. But he took out the first males, boys or men or whoever it was, whoever was born first, man and beast, took them out. Seen all the plagues that the Most High put upon the Egyptians, and still didn't believe. As we read, you see they didn't have faith, didn't believe. But 14 and 31, and Israel saw that great work which the Most High, Mashiach, did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Most High. See, they feared the Most High. And that fear is what? Oh, the beginning of knowledge? No, that fear, they feared them because they seen all that death. Remember, they seen all them bodies. Now, I don't know how many men there was in them chariots, but there was 600 chariots. So they seen a lot of bodies on the seashore that the Most High killed, put them to death. Now they fear the Most High. They're afraid of the Most High now and believe the Most High. You see that? And believe the Most High. You got to see what's that. And have faith in the Most High. Why? And when? Why? Because they seen death. When they seen the death with their own eyes. Because belief is faith. And believe the Most High and his servant Moses. Look at 1 Corinthians, 10th chapter. 1 Corinthians, 10th chapter. I'm going to start at verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea. We just read about this. And we're all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. And did all eat the same spiritual meat, the same spiritual understanding. Did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was a Mashiach Yahushua. It's letting you know here. That was him. And look at Exodus 17 and 16. I mean, what is it going to take for us to really, really believe and have faith? Exodus 17 and verse 6. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of Israel, of children of Israel, and because they tempted the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua is saying, is the Most High among us or not? See? And that's the reason why, one of the reasons why Moses didn't make it to the promised land. Because the people was getting on his nerve, and that's why I say you gotta learn temperance. You have to learn patience. You gotta learn, as it told us in Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter, in the Apocrypha 2 and 4, whatever the Most High give you, take cheerfully. Because Moses, look, he told him, he said in verse 5, because the people act like they was going to stone him for some water. And the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua said unto Moses, go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thine hand and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb. You know, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. So, but see, Moses messed up. He didn't give. It's the Most High's water. It's like the people got his nerve. He said, I gotta smite this rock and bring forth water. Better get the Most High all the credit for everything. And he told him, hey, okay, well, you look over there. He showed him the promised land as far as he could see. He wouldn't allow him to go. He wasn't allowed to go, though. He was not allowed to go. Okay, so. Okay, let's look at Psalm 78. Psalm 78. Let me. I'm gonna go there because that's a lot in there. That covers this what we've been going over. So I'll go there next. But let's continue in 1 Corinthians, okay, the 10th chapter and the 4th verse. It's very important that we see how Mashiach Yahushua was there. It says, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was a Mashiach. Okay? So letting you know in the New Testament that he was there. Who was he? Who was he? Let's find out. We read it already. In Exodus 14 and 19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their faces, stood behind them. Okay? The angel of the Most High, who is that? Listen, 1 Corinthians 10 and 4, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was a Mashiach. But who is he here? An angel of the Most High. Verse 5. But with many of them, Most High, was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Remember, all of them were overthrown.